What is going on, Crimson Tide fans? It is decision day for one of the best players in this 2026 recruiting cycle. Five-star corner Jorden Edmonds is expected to announce his commitment today at around 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. He's taken multiple visits to Alabama, especially one here recently this past weekend. Some of the top teams that are really vying for his commitment right now are Oklahoma, Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama. Like I said, he most recently took that visit to Alabama. It was an unofficial visit this past weekend, but seems like Alabama is in a really, really good spot for him, especially, when you see, the recruiting sites like Bama Online and Bama 247 put out some of those articles, talking to their parents and stuff like that. I know his mom has been very excited about, everything that they have seen from Alabama in their time there. So I do think Alabama's got a really, really good shot here with Jorden Edmonds, but we are just going to have to see coming up later today. So if you guys want Jorden Edmonds to commit to the Crimson Tide, go ahead and drop a like on today's video for me. He would be the fourth commitment in this 2026 class, but there's still a lot of time to go. But getting that first five-star on board would be a very, very good start for the Crimson Tide in this 2026 cycle. So if you want Edmonds to commit to the Tide, go ahead and drop a like on today's video. Like I said, if Edmonds were to commit to Alabama, he would be the fourth commitment in this 2026 recruiting class. As of right now, you have Zyan Gibson, top 100 corner in this class as well. You have Chris Booker, four-star interior offensive lineman, and Jamarion Matthews as well, number 20 edge in this class. Now, currently right now on the 247 Sports team rankings, Alabama is currently ranked at number 39. I put Edmonds into the recruiting calculator there. If Alabama were to get that commitment from Edmonds, they would move up about 10 spots to that number 29 overall spot if they were to indeed get Edmonds. He's really risen up these rankings this summer, or not this summer, but throughout this recruiting process anyways, going to those camps and everything like that. Five-star player. Number 27 overall, now the number one corner in this class per the 247 Sports Composite rankings. Also the number 4 player out of the state of Georgia. So you would absolutely love to go into Georgia and get one of those top players out of that state. Alabama's also really going hard after a lot of top corners in this 2026 cycle. You look at guys like Brandon Arrington. He's an athlete, but Alabama right now is recruiting him as a corner. You already got Zyan Gibson. If Alabama can also get a guy like Elbert Hill as well, man, this 2026 class, and especially, it would start off really nice, but man, Alabama has really done a solid job recruiting at that cornerback, DB safety position just in general. So, right now, Brody Jennings is committed to Michigan. Zyan Gibson's committed to Alabama. But the rest of the guys have not yet made decisions yet. Caden Harris, also a very good corner in this class as well. So, Alabama really, really going hard at that cornerback position. If they can get Jorden Edmonds, as well as maybe one or two other guys on this list right here, man, this secondary is going to be very, very good in the years to come. So let me know here at the pinned comment of today's video, guys. Will Jorden Edmonds commit to the Crimson Tide? Hell, maybe by the time this video goes out, he has already committed, and just go ahead and spam those RTRs in the comments. But if you're watching it before he makes that announcement, type Y for yes or N for no at the pinned comment of today's video. All right, I also want to spend a little time talking about some spring practice rumors out there. Interior offensive lineman Geno VanDeMark spoke to the media on Tuesday, and he really gave some high praise to both offensive linemen and defensive linemen for Alabama. He talked about Will Sanders as well. We heard Tyler Booker really give him some praise, saying he's going to be a guy to watch in the near future. And he also shouted out Mal Waldrep, one of those freshmen coming in from that 2025 recruiting class. And Mal Waldrep, if you remember, was a little bit lower ranked, so it was very encouraging to hear him throw that name out there as well. Said he had been doing a really, really good job in pass pro. And he also even mentioned that Mal Waldrep was working a little bit at tackle. Now, he did say that he is probably going to be an interior offensive lineman once it's all said and done, and he really, gets to the time where he's going to be starting to play. But right now, you don't have much depth at that tackle spot. So They're moving guys around. Sounds like Mal Waldrep doing a pretty good job at that tackle spot. But he did also mention Texas A&M transfer Kam Dewberry. This is what Geno VanDeMark had to say about Kam Dewberry at that really left guard spot right now is where they're competing there. He said, I think Dew has done a really good job coming in and learning. He is in the film room all the time. He's a good player. He's a big dude, powerful guy. He has good hands. He's a really good player. He's a guy with a ton of SEC experience. He's an older guy, he's an older guy, one of the older guys in the room. We're not the oldest room in the country. We were pretty young last year, but we're pretty old now. He's a good vet addition for sure. Now, just going back to last season, Kam Dewberry didn't play a ton for Texas A&M, but I do think he did a pretty decent job when he was asked to go out there, I guess. 1 sack allowed, 260 snaps, that's not that bad. 5 hurries, not that bad either. And in his career at Texas A&M, he's played over 1,100 snaps, only given up 3 sacks. Now, the pressures are a little high, but that's still not really that bad when you're talking about over 1,100 snaps there. And one of the biggest things for me, 1 penalty so far in his career. So you got a lot of competition right now at that left guard spot. You got Kam Dewberry and some other guys as well. I think Geno VanDeMark is even a guy that's in that competition. Will Sanders, Ola Salina. There's a lot of good talent there at that left guard spot. Kam Dewberry, probably the favorite right now. We're just going to have to see how spring plays out and really how fall camp plays out as well. But I think you got, a lot of guys in that room right now that are going to be pretty good options for Alabama at that left guard spot. We're going to continue with some more conversation on the offensive line and the defensive line here in just a moment, but want to give a shout out to our friends over at Fanatics. You guys can go to chatsports.com/Bama hoodie and get up to 30% off right now on some Alabama football gear. They've got hoodies, they've got crew necks, they've got quarter zips. I think I even got this a couple years ago on that Fanatics website as well. That link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. Just go to chatsports.com/Bama hoodie and get up to 30% off on Alabama gear today. All right, so this is what our offensive line room is looking like right now. Obviously, Caden Proctor is going to be out for the spring. But like I said, you got Kam Dewberry, Ola Salina, William Sanders, Geno VanDeMark. A lot of guys really working at that left guard spot. Geno VanDeMark also working a little bit at the center spot as well. But like I said, the tackle position's not very deep right now. There's conversations that have been out there about Jackson Lloyd at that working at that tackle spot. Michael Carroll also probably maybe in the mix for one of those or for that left guard spot as well. Mal Waldrep was mentioned working at those tackle spots as well. So I think Alabama right now has a very, very good offensive line. Sure, there are some question marks at left guard, at right tackle, and if Jaden Roberts can stay healthy, and also Caden Proctor, he was a little bit injured throughout last season as well. If these guys can stay healthy and you can actually finally have some continuity along the offensive line, something that you didn't really necessarily have a ton of last year, I think this offensive line has a very good chance to be really good next year, and hopefully they can get back to that prime Alabama offensive line. So let me know here in the comments section of today's show. Will Alabama's offensive line be better in 2025? Type B if you think they'll be better. Type S if you think they'll be about the same as they've been the past couple of years. Or type W if you think they're going to be worse. Really hope that's not the case, but hell, you never know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section for me right now. Geno VanDeMark was also asked about some of those younger defensive linemen. Who is stepping up? He shouted out Jeremiah Beaman and Edric Hill. He said they look different. They play a lot different, faster, more physical. They're a better defensive linemen than they were a year ago. They're giving us some trouble. They are very good players. Now let's start off first just talking about Edric Hill a little bit. He played 58 snaps last year in 2024, and the most that he played was 13 snaps against Missouri. Now, right now he's listed at 6'3", 282 pounds. And to put that into perspective a little bit, James Smith, somebody that we saw last year, he's 6'3", 295 pounds. So a little bit smaller in terms of the weight there. He's definitely gained some weight since he's been on campus here. But coming out of high school in that 2023 class, he was a 4-star, top 200 player as well. And we talk about, these defensive linemen a lot. I think it works on the offensive line as well. Sometimes it takes a couple of years for these guys to really be able to, put their body through the strength and conditioning program, just be able to work themselves into a position where they're able to play. We've heard Edric Hill be mentioned a couple of times now. I think his body, just from some of those, the pictures that we've seen out there of Edric Hill, looks a whole lot different. He looks definitely like he's in some of the best shape of his life so far, or here in his time at Alabama anyways. Looking at Jeremiah Beaman as well. For some reason, when I was looking up the stats for both of these guys and the snaps being played, I thought Jeremiah Beaman had definitely played more snaps than Edric Hill, but that was absolutely not the case. Jeremiah Beaman only played 30 snaps last year for Alabama, and 17 of those was his high for the season. Came against Michigan in the bowl game. Now, this is definitely a guy that's added some weight as well. He's listed right now on the Alabama website at 6'4", 312 pounds. So, you talk about some of the guys along the interior of that defensive line right now. You got Jeremiah Beaman, James Smith, Tim Keenan. These guys are really going to be the main guys, I think, to lock down the interior of Alabama's defensive line. But like I said, I think Edric Hill looks like some of the best shape he's been in here at Alabama. One guy that you haven't really heard a lot of being mentioned by anybody is a guy like Isaiah Faga. He was a 3-star coming out of high school a couple of years ago. He might end up being on my transfer portal candidates list because, I don't know. You haven't heard anybody say his name over spring. We've heard Kane Womack. He's mentioned Edric Hill, Jeremiah Beaman, James Smith, like all these guys. The only guy you haven't really heard mention that should at least, get a couple mentions out there is Isaiah Faga. I think Steve Mbamua, we'll see if he can really contribute for Alabama, but I definitely do still think that they're able to go out there in that spring transfer portal and at least add 1 or 2 bodies to the interior of that defensive line. Make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. We're going to be live tomorrow night for the Sweet 16. Also going to drop a short this afternoon when Jorden Edmonds makes his announcement for his commitment. So do not miss out on any Alabama news or rumors out there. Hit that sub button for me right now.